What's the biggest lie you told your family? 5 years ago, I told my parents I was accepted into Harvard Medical School. I wasn't. The acceptance letters had gone out that morning. I'd been refreshing my email every 30 seconds since 7 a.m., my stomach in knots. When the message finally appeared, the words, "We regret to inform you," blurred before my eyes. I'd spent 4 years maintaining a near-perfect GPA, volunteering at hospitals, and shadowing doctors, all for nothing. That evening, my parents had organized a small gathering. Just family, Mom had said, in case we have something to celebrate. I could picture the scene already. My father's proud smile, my mother's happy tears, my younger brother rolling his eyes at all the attention I was getting. I sat in my car outside our house for almost an hour, watching relatives arrive. Uncle Jim, Aunt Susan, my grandparents, all waiting to hear my good news. When I finally walked in, Mom rushed over. "Well?" she asked, her eyes bright with anticipation. Something broke inside me. "I got in," I said. The room erupted. Dad popped champagne. Grandpa made a toast. My phone buzzed with congratulatory texts as Mom spread the news. I smiled until my face hurt. "When do classes start?" Dad asked. "September," I replied, knowing I had months to figure out what to do. I convinced them I was deferring for a year to gain more clinical experience. I moved to Boston anyway, rented a tiny apartment, and got a job at a local clinic filing paperwork. Every day, I left wearing scrubs, pretending I was heading to medical school. I created elaborate stories about my professors, my classmates, the challenging coursework. I photoshopped ID cards and scheduled screenshots. When they visited, I gave them tours of the Harvard campus, pointing out buildings I claimed to have classes in. "This is where we do our anatomy labs," I'd say, gesturing to random buildings. "Impressive," Dad would nod, his eyes shining with pride. The lies grew more complex. I invented study groups, exams, and clinical rotations. I became someone else entirely, a fictional version of myself who was succeeding at everything. Last month, my brother surprised me with a visit. "Let's grab lunch at that cafe you're always talking about," he suggested. "The one where you study with your med school friends." I panicked. "It's closed for renovations." His expression changed. "That's weird because I just walked past it. Looks open to me." That night, he confronted me. "I know you're not in medical school," he said quietly. "Your name isn't in any student directory." I checked. I broke down completely. Through tears, I confessed everything. "You need to tell them," he said. "This has gone too far." I called a family meeting last weekend. Mom made her famous lasagna, thinking we were gathering to celebrate the end of my second year. Dad brought my favorite wine. "I have something to tell you," I said, my voice barely audible. Their faces changed as I spoke. Confusion, disbelief, then devastating disappointment. Mom's hand covered her mouth. Dad just stared at the floor. "Why?" Mom finally whispered. "Why would you do this?" "I couldn't bear to disappoint you," I replied. "But you've been lying for years," Dad said, his voice hollow. Every conversation, every visit, it was all fake. They left without finishing dinner. My brother gave me a sad nod before following them out. It's been 8 days. They haven't returned my calls. The weight of my deception sits heavy on my chest, making it hard to breathe sometimes.